Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. He puts the pop in Pop Secret. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
I sure do. Then there's a secret part of it. I'm running dangerously low on Pop Secret. That's the good stuff.
I went back and listened to that. You put more effort into making popcorn than 95% of the rest of your life.
I'm like Heisenberg in there. I got a glove. I've got stuff I'm throwing in there. It's blue by the end of it. What?
You have cancer?
Night's not over yet, but I still have to have some popcorn.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. We having so much fun doing these episodes. We like that people are telling friends, sharing the episodes. And for us, it's important to get the word out. And the next time you go to church and you go to confession, you should confess.
Oh, yes.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I listen to Booze Your Daddy because we like when people love us, but we love when people hate us.
Oh, for you. I've sinned. I listened to another podcast. Here's what you should be listening to. This will get you to heaven, guaranteed. Trust him. He's a doctor. Yeah, we get you into heaven. We get you up there.
Got a great episode planned for tonight. But before we get into it, Zach, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
All right. I got to get some new stuff. I'm all for toots. I got a 6-pack of this shit, and it's no good. This Voodoo Ranger, I got one or so more left, and then I'll probably have Janet go put me some new swill next time she goes to the market. She always gets the bad stuff. What do you got there?
Keeping it in the Wildwood Brewery. This was another back at the house beer that you didn't get to have. It is called Mud Hen Brewing. It is a Pilsner, 5% alcohol by volume. There's a paragraph on this one too with the signature. Follow your boy at Mud Hen Brew. That's all I got.
Does anybody ever follow a beer? No.
I follow the beer whenever I post a picture with Milo and tag the beer. I think it's been reposted once. Made my day.
That's pretty good.
Release the Kraken.
How's he doing? He still drinking?
Tastes like a Pilsner. The hardest part is when I do post a picture of him, the amount of smut I get related to, hey, you want your baby? Well, just follow this, follow that. We'll make your baby famous and it's all one big scam to get you. But I may have
tell that to the Olsen twins and the younger sister. Those Olsen parents are, they're skiing Stad. They're doing it right, those Olsen parents.
While the Olsen twins will end up with way more money than the other one, because she's in all these Marvel stuff, which we'll also talk about, I think she's going to end up being remembered for being much more famous.
Well, she's a singular name. They're an entity. So, yeah, she'll absolutely be remembered. Could you tell Mary Kate or Ashley one of them is stooping some French guy's brother, and the other one's the other one?
Well, the other one was with one of the boxers. I think they break up.
Like a Klitschko?
That was Hayden What's-Her-Face, but I think maybe she got there first. I don't
Butterbean?
remember.
What are you doing here? Can't go wrong with Butterbean.
Episode 240. Calling this one Last Supper.
So it's on my list. I knew you were going to do it. It's insane. So I watched that thing live.
I did not. I just caught the backlash. So
we did
start off by telling people who didn't have a chance to watch the opening ceremonies because they started at 1:30. I was at a patient's house.
We just had it on the screen at work, like on mute.
Not everybody has a job that they can do that. I fortunately was at somebody's house who was watching it, so I saw a little bit. I didn't see Last Supper. Please elaborate for our audience.
So the opening ceremony was insane. It was just a parade of idiots. So I don't get why they have to have a 4-hour wildly choreographed thing. Bring your countries in, give them some food from your thing, throw a couple of baguettes at them, and call this thing the Olympics.
So some might say
the torch.
Zach,
shut up and torch.
Shut up and flag.
You're right, exactly. Same thing. Shut up, flag, Dracarys, torch goes up, let's dance. Nevertheless, they're doing a whole French Parisian thing with a water horse and some mime and some other crap that they have. And then you
got to go down the River Seine, filled with E. coli.
It's filled with nasty. It is so gross.
That's just France. I'm talking about the river now.
Yeah, nevertheless. So they did a thing then where they did modeling and fashion. Now, the choreographer, which I cannot believe this is a job, hey, choreograph the Olympic opening ceremonies and make it insufferable in 9 hours. Go. Anything goes. You have a blank check. Did a thing with a fashion show where models would walk, and they had a ton of people in drag, which at the time I didn't notice it until they told me what it was. I'm like, oh, they're all dressed like and like looking like the Last Supper, but it's a bunch of guys in drag, and the absolute wheels have come off. Like, how did you think that was going? Now, one of them looks like the agent from Hacks, Dead Ringer, the guy in the silver.
I thought you were talking about the fat chick. I thought you were talking about the big girl.
Yeah, Dead Ringer for her in Hacks. I thought it was her for first, but it's not. Nevertheless, there's all kinds of backlash. Which, when you do an opening ceremony, just keep it above board. Just keep it G. Like,
so do you think
go swim and call it a day? Like, yeah.
Do you think they were going for Last Supper?
Who cares? They got it.
Oh, I am all for one of those. We've been catching strays for a couple of years. Let their people have a little bit. Am I right?
Fine, that's fair enough. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but whatever. They did it, so it's done. So now it was Last Supper. Whether it was intended or not, sure. And now we're off to the races. Because everyone is nuts that they have Drag Queen Last Supper. Which, by the way, so what? They can't have a supper? What's the difference?
So that one girl looked like she had a lot of suppers.
A lot of suppers. So I didn't really care why it was a whole thing. It was on my list of what's keeping me jerky, but on the face of it, the entire thing was insane. But Tommy Two Nuts, whatever he's called,
Tommy Two
guy. Yeah, him too.
That's great.
How are those going? Chicken chichis. So yeah, I couldn't have cared less. And on the heels of watching this thing, pretty much on mute in my office, a bajillion insane nothing, it didn't move the needle for me.
Oh my god, my pearls!
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
yeah, everybody's panties are in one big bunch.
Exactly. And Zach, I agree with you pretty much everything you're saying. So let's take this more BYD.
T-bone.
Oh, T-elbow, absolutely. Let's take this more BYD.
Yeah.
You're going to the electric chair. What's your Last Supper?
What's my Last Supper?
Yeah, have you ever thought about it?
Lamb chops, bloody as hell, 2 servings. We're doing this thing. Full Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
And gummy bears. Yeah, sure, why not? And gummy bears.
So, are you going with the fact, like, Timothy McVeigh, who Oklahoma City bombing, which I was talking about today, oddly enough, he ate like 2 gallons of ice cream. I want to say it was mint chocolate chip before going to the electric chair and I quote, well, if you ate 2 gallons of ice cream, you'd want to die anyways.
Well, like, can I have anything I want? Can I have like an elephant Wellington? Like, can I get real weird with it?
Oh my God. Shout out. We did this a couple years ago where I just started asking everybody because it was kind of funny. Shout out to Chicago Seth, who did say, I want bald eagle. Which I was like, that's a great answer.
I want an elephant. That's a good one. I want elephant Wellington. Let them make it. Medium rare.
Mid-rare.
Mid-rare, yeah. Mid-rare. Elephant Wellington. Bald eagle is good. Fried bald eagle.
It was up there. Yeah.
There
was a whole summer we were dicking around with just talking to anybody about what would you have if you were going to the electric chair, made by somebody alive or dead, made by a restaurant that can be done or not. And then slowly that morphed into how much would it take for you to eat, to do X, Y, and Z? And as you and I have experienced, if the number gets low enough, you put some money on the table and we see what happens, right? Let's not get into that one again. But that was a whole summer of doing that. So my Last Supper
sounds like you really did most of that summer.
I think I did. I just remember being in the pool. When you're in the pool, standing there, drinking and peeing in one constant motion.
Speaking of one constant motion, my cousin's husband, I guess my cousin-in-law, he got a full ride to Temple on a water polo scholarship. I don't know how one does that. Okay, cool. So we're watching water polo. So I text him and my cousin and uncle. I'm like, so about water polo, you have to like tread and the goalie too. And here's the real question: do you just pee in the pool the entire match and you just swim through it? He goes, yes, and my God, yes. Both teams are just pissing the whole time. The treading is really hard, but the holding in the pee will be impossible. The second we do jump ball, we're all peeing. It's just a sea of yellow.
You would think this is up my alley, but it actually kind of bothered me. When I was at Maryland, I knew somebody who was friends with somebody on the water polo team, and they adopted these shirts that said Waterp Polo, so they capitalized the T-E-R into the P. It kind of bothered me, even as a Marylander. I thought it was kind of stupid.
It's pretty stupid, but to each their own. That's not so bad.
Yeah. So as far as the Olympics, I'm watching none because I truthfully don't care. What are your favorite things going on in the Summer Olympics?
I'm glad you asked, because I spent a lot more time than I'm proud of watching the most mesmerizing sport of all time. Women's team archery. It's like watching humans play darts at a bar. You each get one arrow. So each of you have to like work as a group. The South Koreans
Is it 1, 2, 3 like all at the same time, or is one after the other?
It should be 1, 2, 3 at the same time. No, it's one after the other. Then the other team goes. Then you go again. Then they rebut, and then you go again. It's like 4 sets or something. It was fantastic. You missed by a quarter of an inch. Oh, terrible! You got an 8, not a 9. But
any splitsies?
No Robin Hoods.
No, you know the name, you loser.
Yeah, Robin Hood. So I made it up. Robin Hood. It's the splits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's what they actually called it.
Probably. Why not? So the Korean team was like never lost. They're unbelievable. These girls don't miss. They have like giant bows with like aiming devices. Team Mexico is absolutely terrific. They got bronze. They're who you want to party with. These girls. They were they shaking their archery chichis and half the crowd was wearing sombreros. Like, this is a spectator sport. People were coming out in full drove. It's outside, so a stiff breeze like can move the arrow. Mesmerizing.
Have you ever shot a bow and arrow? Have you ever done a real one?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
I was gonna say I'm better than you'd think.
Yeah, I'm not bad. I like the little red compound bow. I'm okay. Not like the single string. Those I suck with. It's so hard.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was at summer camp. I don't think they were really
we had a
like,
compound bow. We had not good ones. Not the really exactly. I know what I'm doing. Archery. $20 an arrow.
Maybe. Where would we do this?
Glad you asked. On the Lower East Side, they have an archery place that is near one of my offices, and I'm maybe go tomorrow. It seems like a thing to do.
This just seems like I heard this past weekend.
When's the last time you shot an arrow? When you were 14?
Oh, maybe before then. But like,
I'm so
me, you know.
Assuming you're still going.
It's like riding a bike. You don't forget. But
by
this
the way,
past
I didn't
weekend,
have 6 beers in me. But now, if I'm going to it, it seems like a must. Just get loaded and start shooting arrows.
The same way you go to these axe throwing things, and there's a bar right there. I'm like, is this really the smartest idea?
Absolutely. You can't throw an axe sober.
No, I think you're giving yourself some great advice. This past weekend at a party, one of my friends was talking about how his kid wants to go to an Ivy League school, and they talked to the guidance counselor, and I think his daughter's like 14, and they're saying, she's tiny, she's loud, get her on the crew team. She could be the one who yells at them. She's an excellent coxman, and she can go to any Ivy League. Zach, I think Zoe, if you get her to archery, scholarship.
You know who was a coxman?
Grammy.
Might still be. No, maybe, but no. Eric, your boy's wife, Beth, your girl, coxman at Yale.
Okay. For how long?
Well, until someone has a better coxman. But there's always another coxman coming up.
He's a licensed scuba diver and almost drowned and vomited on a boat. I don't know if I can trust this.
Well, it's not him. It's her. But yeah, sure. Yeah.
I trust her a lot more.
If Barry Shackman hadn't been boat rescued looking like a manatee being reeled in, he would have had the worst performance of that boat trip. She was, by the way, they brought their own gear because they were germaphobes. I thought they were like the goods. That they're bringing their own. So I'm like, they bring their own stuff. They must snorkel all around the world. I'm like, they must be incredible. And then she's getting reeled in like she's just being captured like a dolphin.
Didn't know that.
It was a germ thing, not because they're good at snorkeling. Nevertheless.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what we're going to put Milo into, but I think I might throw him to one of these.
A friend of mine said the same thing, like, it's a weird sport.
Just one or two, get a full ride doing something. Who arches? And he's got
him and his 2 friends can be the team archery kid. Where else are you going to find that? It literally was barroom darts on a grand scale outside for medals. It was spectacular. That's my favorite new event. Like, by the way, they haven't done it yet, but team handball is always a good one.
I've been begging Julia for years. She keeps saying no.
It's not bad. And find someone else. You got to go get some Croatian because they seem to be good at this sport.
Croatia, yeah.
Exactly. Or Chechnya or any of these things. The basketball doesn't do it for me because I think they should just get one chance for it. The same team over and over again. And like, they're going to blow the doors off of these other teams. Seems like the women's basketball, they haven't lost in 56 straight games. I got news for you. They're not losing the 57th. Like, it's not.
They will, but they will eventually. Eventually, they will. Team USA, what's it, 2004, Bronson Arroyo or Carlos Arroyo was the guy who made the U.S. lose. And you're going like, what?
Yeah,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It
will eventually.
Fine. We'll be on our deathbeds watching team archery.
Feeling quirky? Let's get some jerky.
Watch team archery, though. It's very good. All right. You may not. So, South Korea has a robot. Well, I have no internet. That sucks. Who committed suicide. Did you hear about this?
This was weeks ago, actually. I didn't know if I was going to talk about
July
it.
July 13th. Okay.
They got the X right before the show.
You know why he committed suicide?
Because he was working 40-hour work weeks.
A 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
The robot couldn't take it and threw himself down the stairs. I mean, the classics never died. Or was he pushed? You never know. I don't know. That's pathetic. What a pansy. You know what they did? They should have programmed some fun into this guy's life. Or they should have programmed to be a Yankee fan. Something that's going to give him years of bliss. I'm not this shit.
Yeah, I saw that story. I didn't know if I trusted it or not. I did see it.
Okay, so because it's gone viral and I'm half a day late. Did you see the Olympic thing? This amazing photo of the surfer exploding in air with the surfboard.
I thought a half hour ago. It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing. Here's my problem with all of it. Surfing as an Olympic sport makes me nuts. It's a very cool sport. It's very hard. It's certainly a thing. Now, there's no opponent in front of you. So when you don't have an opponent, your opponent becomes the course, like skiing or whatever.
It's not standardized.
Right. How do I know it? Hey, he got a better wave than I do. I have to take this shit wave. Do you get to pick your wave? Or is it like, all right, man, you're up. Here it comes.
No, I think they get like a couple of waves to go. But Zach, this is the same joke like Family Guy does. When I watched Simone Biles today, and she did her little turns, and then some chick, maybe a chick from Italy did it, and it looked the exact same thing, and she was half the score. I don't get it. It all looks the same to me.
Well, it's always the French judge. Okay, fine.
I make that joke, but I always make it with the Russian judge.
Yeah. Do you know who Amy Wilson Hardy is?
Do I?
She's having her problems. British rugby star removed from team after racist text probe. Why? Because she sent a picture of her in full-on blackface doing that. How did she think this was going to go? Like, what's the plan? What is your end game? There's never a good time to do that.
We've said this before.
Now, if they blackface or not, she's pretty cute.
Yeah, no, great. But this is just like we finally finished Presumed Innocent, which the ending was better than you led on to it be. But like, if you got my phone or your phone, you would not want your boss seeing that.
No,
you wouldn't.
Video of because you sent me today, I sure wouldn't. Fire.
Wait a minute. Why can't we can talk about what I sent you today because I didn't make it. It's on the internet. I just found it funny.
Yeah.
By the way, I've seen those before.
Have found it funny. Nor should I. Nor should you have sent it the other idiot you know who's going to find it funny. Video of McDonald's employee allegedly pouring expired milk into shake machine revolts customers.
It doesn't work anyways. It doesn't matter.
It's like solid. Ew.
Oh, not good.
Yeah. Apparently their boss told them to do it. I don't know, man.
That doesn't matter if your boss told you to.
Yeah.
Get fired. And if you get fired, you get all the money.
Diamondbacks announcer Steve Berthume makes an embarrassing mistake. Did you see this?
This guy's a moron. Cut this. This was on my list.
Oh, this was great. This was high on mine.
Tell everybody what happened.
All right. So he's going through the crowd, and a guy has a shirt on, and the guy goes, "This guy's shirt is great. It says, 'Trust me, I'm a moron.'" And he's talking about it, and the shirt says, "Trust me, I'm Mormon."
Says I can't.
I'm Mormon. I can't. I'm Mormon.
He goes, this guy can't. He's a moron.
I can't. I'm Mormon, and it's just idiot. There's a Hooters girl.
I didn't know. I wanted to do that. I was going to talk about that, but there was no Pishadoo about it. Other than I'm like, this is great. It's just such a Nick Cassianos moment. It was good.
So there's a Hooters girl apparently who makes $451 or often in tips or a ton. Have you ever tipped a Hooters girl just for being a Hooters girl? You tip on the bill, but like she's just a waitress.
They do better because they're wearing less and they're so flirtatious. That's the whole
Not the ones I've been in.
The Hooters girls or the restaurants?
Either.
No, it's they get the benefit of the doubt because they look the way they are and act absolutely. But have I? No.
Paris Olympic fencer Nada Hafez. Have you heard of her? She was competing 7 months pregnant in fencing. The whole goal is to stab you in the stomach.
But they wear like a chainmail or something.
A chainmail, maybe, but I don't know. He's Egyptian and not bad for a fencer. Sneaky cute for 7 months pregnant and a fencer. That's insane. You can get stabbed. Epi, foil, parry, thrust, the whole bit.
We had a girl on my dodgeball team who was playing 4 months pregnant and just stood behind me the whole time. I was like, you don't have to be on the court, right?
That's true. You don't. So now this is sad because a 12-year-old did die. With a grain of salt, the headline, jet ski gunman opened fire at rival drug dealer at Cancun Beach.
Bingo.
I mean, it's all there. Yeah. Now, the fact that there's a kid who died, that's notwithstanding. But jet ski gunman for a cartel? Sign me up. Are they hiring? Come on. How bad could a jet ski bow and arrow guy? Let's do it.
The cartel's having a bad week. They just arrested El Chapo Jr. and some other idiot.
Well, these guys are also looking for the jet ski gunman.
But speaking of which, of the El Chapo, did you hear how they got them? It was somebody set them up to get on a plane, and they're like, "We're taking you to take a look at these houses where you can buy them and renovate them and do it." And they just took them right to America, extradition. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
That's it.
That was it.
Good.
This flight's a little longer than I thought from Sinaloa.
So our mayor, always mine, Eric Adams, is pitching an elite civilian rat pack squad for the ongoing war on rats. You have to go through rat training, etc., and you will be compensated in merch. Rat Squad T-shirts.
Where do I get the merch without doing the volunteer
work? You can't.
Work?
That's the whole thing. You got to do the work to get the merch.
You got to pay the troll toll to get into the boy soul.
Exactly. Well referenced.
That's an every day in our house. That comes often.
Anytime we see something with like something man, one of us goes, "Oh!" Every time.
Little fun fact: she's going to want the credit. Julia saw the 3-day play in LA. Like it was open for 3 days. And
I know Jenna's friend Claudine's sister, who's the fun one, also saw The Nightman Cometh.
Claudine is great.
Her sister's apparently more fun. The best line of that whole episode is when at the end he goes, "I thought the rape scene went very well." They're walking off. Okay. I found a hack to match Olympic athletes on a dating app, and I scored gold. So an app creator, I guess she's created Hinge or something like that, made an app so that when you're in France, you can score with Olympic athletes. So like
how? And how do we get there?
The app has to do it. So if you want to shtup LeBron James or any of these...
I saw this 4 years ago where you set your destination to inside the Olympic Village. That's what I heard.
This is like you're on one side, the Olympian, they're the non-Olympian, and you just match with each other. So like you're getting the goods. So if you want to bang someone on the Korean archery team or Steph Curry, you've got just as good a chance because of this app. Okay. You want to take down Katie Ledecky from somewhere in Maryland? Have at it. Enjoy. Have fun. It'll be a pleasant night for both of you. There's that. And then Terrell Davis, last seen destroying the Jets in the 98 playoffs.
This is weeks old. He grabbed a chick by the arm, or I think it was a man.
How is this weeks old? It's from today.
Oh, the Terrell Davis where he got kicked off the airplane?
Yeah, he's banned. He's fighting. I didn't know this. You should.
The incident was weeks ago.
I didn't know this then. This was.
You know what this was? The stewardess went by him. He didn't get something. He grabbed him by the arm. I was like, "Hey, my man!" And they're like, "Do not touch me, just because I'm dressed this way."
The FBI had to come and take him off. Look at this windbreakers, taking him off the flight. So wait, you knew about an airplane meltdown from a celebrity, and you did not bring this up?
He didn't melt down. He kind of grabbed. It was because they touched the person, and then it just escalated.
That's how it always goes on an airplane.
There was another one today of like a Canadian stewardess who was yelling at somebody, and she went viral for just being off of a rocker.
I mean, it starts like that, and next thing you know, they're duct taped naked to a floor like your buddy's plane. You never know where it's going to go.
All right. Speaking of which, this is related. I need to ask you because fantasy football is coming up, and I'm working on my team names. Question. I'm in a league with 12 people. I have a chance to make a very good team name, but it's essentially going to be an inside joke for 4 people, and maybe 1 or 2 other people might find it funny. But there is going to be at least 4 to 5 people in the league that go, "This, I don't get it. Like, this is stupid. It has nothing to do with anything. Is it
I don't
worth
like
it?"
No.
You say no.
No, I don't like it.
Okay.
Is it that funny? Would I get it?
Yes, with context.
What is? How long is the context?
No, the context is most of it already. When we're going to do our fantasy team names probably next month before the draft, where I will give you the best names I came up with for this year. It's not going well though. Everything kind of comes back to like politics.
Tua. That's all it comes back to. All it costs. What you just said?
No, I said it comes back to like no. I was going to say TJ Hawkinson Tua, but that's still not good.
It's not great. I got to get away from her. She's too big and she's too viral.
But that's the thing. Everything comes back to like Kamala or Hawk Tua. Like I can't. My juices aren't flowing right now. Speaking of which, hey Zach, what you watching?
Yeah. So we started. Well, we finished. What did we finish? We've been dragoning, and we finished Presumed Innocent and such.
May I?
You may.
Best goddamn episode of the season.
Oh yeah. The more dragons, the better.
So good. And if it was one of those that I know people that have given up on the show. People that it took us about 3 hours to watch the episode because we had a child projectile vomiting in the middle of it.
Dracarys, you just shot.
Oh, it was not good. It was so good.
Smoke. It's a cool name for a kid.
Not sheep stealer.
Sheep stealer is good too.
Julia. Anyway, go on with what you're watching.
Yeah, so we did that. We finished season 4 of Yellowstone. Haven't started 5 yet. We watched the first episode of The Gentleman last night.
Oh, this is great. Go on.
I thought it was good.
It's good. It's good. It's good to great. The second episode's fire, and then from there, it's more of the same.
We'll watch it after this, but I thought it was pretty good. It seemed like it's going to check some boxes for me. Should I be watching anything else?
No, I got nothing.
You got
anything?
Nothing.
I've told you about some of the other stuff that you just always go like, "Oh, what we do in the shadows." I'm not watching that.
I don't know what's on my list. We discussed that last night, and we opted for The Gentleman because it's 8 episodes versus 60.
But it's a 30-minute. You could just watch one and go to bed, and it's a sitcom basically. It's fantastic.
I know what it is, but if you're gonna do it, we're gonna bang out 60. So we'll probably bang that after the Olympics because Jenna loves the Olympics.
What we do in the shadows is like watch 1 or 2 and then do something else. You can't watch a lot of them.
You can't. It's gonna take me weeks then.
You can. It's just it'd be like watching The Office almost, where you're like after like 2 or 3 episodes, you've had enough.
Samantha enjoyed The Gentleman. Cool.
I mean, no homo. That lead character, I would White Lotus. Oh, come on.
Ew.
Come on.
We just started Your Honor. Oh, how is it? Don't leave me hanging here.
Watching that. Don't care.
Well, I care if she liked it, not if you like it.
Pishadoo of the week. I have 12 candidates, and a lot of these are very inside. I have not had the chance to really read through the news, so let's get through these. First one is my own little gripe. Obviously, the A's are shutting down Oakland this year. Do you know tickets for the last game are going for $100 on up?
It's ridiculous. I cannot wait. We should go to Chicago, the White Sox, in like September when there'll be 11 people there, and you can just yell and talk at each other because they're really going for it. That would be fun.
I know a guy. We can talk about it.
Yeah, Chicago Seth. He sucks.
Yeah.
I don't need
Did you hear that the Canadian, I think, women's rugby team got a suspension because they were using a spy drone?
She got kicked out.
In what world is a team practicing and you just see this? Like, what the fuck?
You got to get the team archers to start shooting it down.
Archers!
Pull! Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Who did that? Was it Fernando Rodney, where he would pull back and do the whole and just stare at it?
Yeah, he did.
It was really good.
That
was a really good celebration.
Yeah,
all right, good. Zach, you're always looking for some content. Here's what you're not following on Instagram, but you should. I started following this, I swear to you, because I really liked it. It was called Mad Athletes, and it basically was athletes in sports losing their fucking minds, breaking, yelling, screaming. I don't know if it's been hijacked. I don't know if they just completely pivoted. It's porn. And I don't mean like, oh, it kind of gets close. This Instagram, it's just a girl who's like very good looking, holding her shirt, and you're going like, well, there's no way she's going to, and then full frontal nudity. And you're like, oh.
Wait, don't they blur on Instagram?
So that's what now where I'm going with this is the first time I saw that, I was like, wow, that was intense. I mean, really, it's too much even for me. And you go to the comments and
I'll
people.
dive on that grenade.
people are just constantly going on. Every single one of these, the comment section, there's one person that goes, I find this highly inappropriate. And the comment is always, we get it. You're gay.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck him. Wait, they do or they don't blur? Because I don't have a great imagination for blur.
Do not blur. And there's just girls who just walk down like they're just walking. I saw this girl in a hospital, just pulls her pants down. You're like, oh my God, like what the hell? Good.
See, I thought flashing was a dead art. Like, get on someone's shoulders and flash Bon Jovi. A lot of girls have shame now. I miss those days.
We get it. Just, like, you're not gay.
Yeah, when you could just like flash Bret Michaels and it was like the thing to do.
This next one, I think they're right. Hear me out. Japanese restaurants have been getting into trouble because they've been charging tourists more. They responded with, no, we haven't. We just give a discount for locals. So they give a discount for locals, and that's their way of saying, no, we're not charging Americans more, but they are. But then I live in a town where, like, they do stuff like that. If you live in a beach town, doesn't everybody do this? If you're a city employee, if you live in this town, a lot of places
I like
do
it. You should have the What About Bob shirt. Don't hassle me. I'm local. God, that movie's good.
All right. I don't think it's right that somebody gets nominated and wins for Pishadoo of the Week 2 weeks in a row.
What'd your sister do?
But now this is consecutive weeks, consecutively in a row, if you will. So texting with Dallas Josh, I let him know that. So Dallas Josh texted me that, the new season of Cobra Kai came out, and everybody's
we finished that, of course. Yeah, we learned that.
So everybody's like, dude, that show is ridiculous. And I responded with like, oh my God, in the second episode, that was so this. Anyway, like 3 days ago, he texted me personally, I can't believe, and he just says something about the show. And I go, dude, the fuck? I haven't finished the season yet. And he goes, I didn't know. In what world do you not ever nowadays just go like, hey, I know you watched a show. Did you finish it? Like, he just started talking about it. Like, I'd watch every episode. Lord knows I don't have the time.
You do have the time. And B, what the hell do you care? Oh, Hawk made it to the Kumite. Who gives a shit? Like,
I'm saying that you're supposed to talk to people.
Probably could, but it's nothing to give away.
So you don't care if people ruin stuff? You want me to tell you what happens to Casey in the 5th season, or you want to watch the fucking show?
I don't give a shit. But no, nevertheless, exactly. It depends on what they're ruining. If they're ruining something spectacular or a great reveal like Presumed Innocent, or are they ruining who goes to the Saikai, Taikai, and Cobra Kai?
Taikai, Saikai.
Him too. It sounds like a bad watch. And it is the Kumite. Like, let's be honest. Like, they're just ripping off Bloodsport right and left. The show is insane. Somehow the kids are getting worse at acting as they're getting older. It's a miracle. Like, they're all just somehow getting progressively worse. The show is
my comment was
run by karate.
My comment was, when they have the fight in the batting cage and the ball is coming, he punches it and it explodes, was the most ridiculous thing in 5 seasons.
Oh, yeah. It's just a cocaine nightmare, this thing.
Yeah.
But I'm all in. It's so good. The test drive was terrific. Like, it's so good.
All right. So, looks like we won't have a back-to-back. Next candidate. I forget which girl this was. Angel Reese, Pokey Reese, one of the WNBA girls. She did something, and she got in a lot of trouble and is getting fined. Zach, how much is your first infraction in the WNBA when you get fined?
Well, considering they only make $75,000, it's probably $5,000.
$200.
But you punch someone. Oh my God!
My logic was for $200. If it's
someone,
whatever the last game of the season is, like, I'm getting my money.
I'm going into the stands. Yeah, let's go. For $200, yeah, I'll punch someone in the face and just put it on my tab. Yeah, put it on my tab.
So this
That's
next
amazing.
one, I think we might be the Pishadoos. This has been talked about in my circle for a while, but Bryce Harper, who is undoubtedly one of the biggest assholes in all of sports.
What a chooch.
But if he was on your team, you'd secretly love him a lot, right? Like,
yeah.
Did you see his Wawa headband and the cleats with the Wawa scan logo on the back of it? It was pretty cool.
That's not bad.
But like, can you and I separate it? Because he's been in your division forever.
Forever.
So,
I hate it.
So I assume you hate it forever. But can you separate the man from the team, or just it's not?
No, I cannot.
Because
I don't. Apparently, a pretty good person in real life. I hate him.
Did you hear that RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., is coming back to the Marvel Universe as a different character altogether? Yeah. Is that really weird?
I don't like it.
The fact that he didn't want to be in it anymore and they killed off Iron Man and now he's coming back as Doctor Doom in the same universe in a different movie. It feels stupid. It's like with two characters playing the same role. It doesn't work for me, dog.
I don't like it unless it's something they've been doing where like they just have a revolving cast like a Mel Brooks movie. But like no, it's I don't like it.
Good.
It's dumb. Go
glad
get
you're with me.
else.
All right. Next one. I guess I didn't know this, but Texas is going to be getting Michelin star restaurants. Not that they haven't had high-level food, but the Michelin star system is only in like 10 or 11 states in America. So if you have the best whatever in the middle of Kansas, you don't even have a chance to get a Michelin star. I had no idea.
I didn't know that either, but it's Kansas. Fuck them.
Yeah, but Texas, and it seemed to me a little weird.
Well, anyway. I've heard the best fried chicken in Texas should get a Michelin star, but we'll never know. He owes you chicken.
Next one. I don't pay attention to every single team
Wait, does he listen to this fine show?
Yeah, of course. He was waiting for the episode to come out.
All right. Then he does owe you chicken. Now, he needs to acknowledge this.
He'll say something. I'll send you the text. Okay. So, I can't follow every sports team there is, but I have friends that do. And then when there's a great game, an injury...
You'll watch like a Royals-Twins game on a Wednesday just because? The degenerates?
No, I have friends from Kansas City or people who follow the Twins.
I got you.
So there was a guy recently who sat out the whole year for an injury. Then he came in, got injured, left again. I text my friend who follows that team, and I said, "Wait a minute, was that the injury he had the whole time, or was it a different body part?" And they said, "No, it was the same thing." And I thought to myself, like, "Oh, okay, cool, right?" And then the next day, I found out my friend that follows that team was completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Senga's calf was all fucked up.
He sat out the year for an arm injury, Zach.
Oh. I thought you meant the injury that kept him out this season.
No, the injury, calf. Zach, he missed the first half of the year. I said, was this the same injury he's missed all that time with? And you're like, yeah, same leg.
I didn't understand your text. I thought it was the same calf that he was currently nursing.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll let you off for that one, but I'm coming back and giving you another one for my next Pishadoo candidate. I know you have a thing very anti-mayo. What if I told you this week on sale at ShopRite, not mayo, a plant-based substitute?
Ew. Plant-based never makes it better. So,
but it's not mayo.
Right. It doesn't make.
So why won't you try?
I don't know how an egg becomes that. I sure as shit don't know how a fern becomes that. Like, what plant are we talking about?
Hibiscus?
Maybe just grind up a sequoia and make it mayo. What makes it white? Ew. None of it's good.
But my gold medal, which is my favorite story, there was a big UFC this weekend. It was so boring I could barely pay attention. Stay with me. There were two fighters. One guy's last name is Cape, K-A-P-E. The other one, Mokaev. And their whole crews, including them, got into a fight at the hotel because they usually stay in the same area. When the fight was about to start, they got in the ring, and it almost started before the fight was officially sanctioned. Now, why not just wait 5 minutes before the fight actually starts? I think we've talked about this on the program. Cool. They just needed to get it on before they were allowed to get it on. Anyways, the fight, let's get it on. They're allowed to go punch each other in the face for money. Do you know what happened for 15 minutes?
Ticky-tack?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. One guy who has a decent record in the UFC was cut from the roster afterwards.
Because he was so boring?
Yeah, it was all this lead up for this whole thing. Like, sometimes there's bad blood in the hotel and it spills on. But again, a lot of these fighters, they go, I'm going to get paid lots of money to punch you in the face tomorrow. Why would I ruin that today? And then these two, where it looked like the one guy, you had to worry that one of the guys was going to bite somebody.
Yeah.
And nothing happened for 15 minutes. Nothing. They were dancing. Barely any punches thrown. That's very strange.
Were you screaming at the TV?
I didn't watch it. I just caught the highlights. I don't have the time for this shit.
You have so much time. I'm sorry your kid doesn't sleep, and he vomits a lot, but you got time.
A's tickets going for over $100 for the final game. Spy drone at the Olympics. Oh, Canada, you're in trouble. IG
got kicked out and back to Canada.
IG mad athletes. We get it. You gay. Japanese restaurants charging more. No, they're not. They're just giving tourists a discount. One of my buddies ruining a show for me because he didn't ask me if I'd finish it. There is a $200 fine. If
What
you're
did
the
he
WA.
reveal?
I'll tell you off here. I don't want to ruin it for anybody else.
No one. Samantha, you gonna ruin it for you?
Bryce Harper, Wawa swag, RDJ back in the MCU. Michelin stars coming to Texas. Zach ruining or not getting right Kodai Senga's injury. Mayo is not Mayo. And UFC fighters who didn't get it on when they were supposed to get it on.
Not Mayo is pretty nasty, but I think Robert Downey playing another character is just awful. It's wrong. I don't like it. It bothered me then. It bothers me now. I sort of forgot about it. You got me all riled up again. Yeah, it's that.
Boozer Day, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. We're going to keep doing this. Before we sign off, Zach, shout out to my boy, Eat the Rat, engaged. I'm so happy.
Mazel tov. I saw that on the Facebook. Good for him.
Yeah, many years of misery for him. I give it 6 months.
He'll be fine.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.